Spotlight East Windsor with Mayor Janice Mironov.
This is a Spotlight East Windsor special report. I'm Dick Cunningham. Mayor Janice Mironov presented her 2014 State of the Township address to a meeting of the MidJersey Chamber of Commerce. What follows is that address in its entirety.
So, you're supposed to indicate what's the state of the township. That's how we start these speeches. And, I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday, and I thought they summed it up pretty well for me. They didn't really know that's what they were doing, but they said, there's a lot going on in East Windsor. So that's really the state of East Windsor, and I'm happy to say most all of it's pretty good, if not extremely good. So that's what I think you're going to hear today a little bit. Let me start out just talking briefly on budget and finance, which I generally do. I'm going to spend most of the time on business. But we're very pleased this year in East Windsor that we have been able to move forward with a no tax increase budget. We worked very hard to do that, and it's been really a product of a lot of good planning and oversight of our expenditures and our revenues. Certainly new business that joins our community, as well as new ways of affecting efficiency, sharing services, participating in cooperative purchasing, and so forth. So, in fact, for the average homeowner, taxes are actually going down. The municipal component. Is that an applause? That was applause. And we're very proud of our record over the years. In East Windsor, the municipal part of the overall tax bill is under 15%. We have one of the lowest municipal tax components throughout the area, and we are well below the statewide average. Last time I looked, we were about 50% of the average taxes statewide. So we have a record we're proud of. We feel just like you do. While we have to provide, and we provide really a high quality of service, and we will continue to do that, high quality, high quantity, and no employee reductions in this budget. At the same time, we're all business people, and we need to work hard to do the very best we can. And we do believe in practicing fiscally conservative policies and being very proactive in partnerships and affecting more efficient ways of doing our business. So I start on that note of saying we share a lot, and we're proud of our record, and as well as you all should be of the great contributions that you've made here. So let's talk about, you know what, I was about to start on business. I'm about to start on business, but it wouldn't be my speech if I didn't take a shot or two across the bow at those 20 minutes away in Trenton at the state capitol. They're good people. They work hard. Many of them are my friends, and ones in this room have been great supporters. Assemblyman Benson and D'Angelo in many of our programs and pushing legislation. But I do have to mention that we could really do a lot more for property tax relief and reform if there was more going on in Trenton. And one of the simplest things we always tell them is, you know what, just give us back the money you take from us from our energy receipts. Do you know that over 25% of our tax rate, 25% is money that the state takes from us, and they use it to support their state budget and spending programs. And they may all be real worthwhile, but it's not their money. It's just not their money. I say to people, it's kind of like me. I'm the collector of taxes, which I wish I wasn't. But it'd be like my getting the taxes in and saying to my school district, I'm kind of having a tough year, so I'm going to keep $2 million of your money this year, and you're just going to have to make do. And of course, it'd be a riotous outcry. And that's kind of how we feel at the local level. It's our money. It belongs to our property taxpayers, and for us to use to service them and to provide property tax relief, which is so sorely needed in the state of New Jersey, and I believe is really the biggest reason that businesses and residents are having difficulty making a go of it here. So having said that, now let's move on and talk about really a lot of the other great news that is going on here. We have three main areas in East Windsor for businesses, so I am going to divide it that way a bit. We've got, of course, the Route 130 corridor, which is where most of our retail business is. We've got the Old Trenton Road, Route 571 area, a lot of high-tech corporate offices. And then we've got the Twin Rivers Business Park, Route 33 Turnpike area. So I'm going to almost do a laundry list. I apologize. And if you want to tape it and put it on slow down or fast forward, I don't know, you can do that. So starting on the west side of town, we've got the Cy Park Science and Technology complex, which was approved for 4 buildings, about 240,000 square feet. Elementis is the occupant of the first building there, about 66,000 square feet. They're a great British-based company, materials research and development, and we are very excited to work toward continuing to promote that area. We're going to be partnering with Einstein's Alley to do more of a promotion over there for high-tech hub type businesses. So very important area. Very close to there in the PA Center, Anovo, and I think I even mentioned last year they were coming. They're almost here. They're in the building doing work, and we anticipate around September that they will be complete with their work and opening for operations there. That is that odd-looking building on 571, just the east of Old Trenton Road. So it's a tremendous location, right near the 133 bypass roadway as well. And I think we've got the Patel brothers here who are operating that and doing really great job. So we're very excited. We've also got completed in this past year expansions to Shiseido America, which is one of our prime companies. And I know they have representatives here today. They've been a great neighbor, and we're excited to see they know they have more land, so we're always hopeful that their expansions will continue and they'll continue to prosper here in East Windsor. McGraw-Hill has been a source of news. You may know and have read that the company was required to split into 2 companies, McGraw-Hill Financial, McGraw-Hill Education. So we've got components of both, and we're very excited that McGraw-Hill Education, which has had to move from the McGraw-Hill campus because they're not the same company anymore, and they have opted to stay here in East Windsor with 125 employees. Tom Rooney, who's been a great partner to us, is here, and thank you for really our gift, a gift to us, and hopefully a great place for your company to continue to prosper. They moved over to Windsor Center, just off of 571. And just to mention as a tease, that whole area of Windsor Center is about 85 acres, got lots of potential, and we're pretty excited. We think this might be the year that we see some very exciting developments over in that part of East Windsor as well. Seasons at East Windsor, which is a 120-bed assisted living facility on 571, is indicated. We've seen they're taking steps to move forward, and we're very upbeat that come the fall that maybe they will be close to groundbreaking on that facility. It's a very modern, state-of-the-art. They've got their licenses. They just need to get finalize some of their physical arrangements and get in the ground. So we are hoping to see that move forward. Additionally, we've got another project that has filed with the Planning Board just down Landing Boulevard called The Woods at East Windsor. Which will be an age-restricted project, and we expect to begin hearing them obviously in the next number of weeks and months to proceed there. And I do just want to mention, most of this will be business, but we do have several residential developments that have completed in the last year and moving ahead. Windsor Cove, which is just off Airport Road, 52-unit large lot homes. Brook Tree, a smaller subdivision on Oak Creek Road, Dutch Neck Road. And then we've also got, and I know we have representatives here from Hovnanian, they have just taken over an approved single-family residential project, Magnolia Ridge Estates on Old York Road, and they are hoping and looking to move forward on that this year. So we do have a balance of different things going on. Route 130, I'll do a quick rundown. If you've gone up and down 130, somebody I know was out of town for a little over a year. They came back and they said it was just magnificent, the contrast. Up on the north side, we've got Rainbow Academy, approved for a 10,000 square foot child care facility at Old Cranberry Road. We do expect that they will be breaking ground in the fall. The former police barracks remains kind of a challenge, but it's a tremendous area, a gateway area, and we will continue an important focus on that property on 130 South. Starplex has bought over the cinemas, the East Windsor Multiplex at Town Center Plaza, and doing some upgrades, some changes, improvements here. Panera Bread, of course, has opened. We were there for the opening, and somebody walked in and said, you know, this is the best thing that's happened in East Windsor. They were from Cranberry, but, you know, so I don't know how to take that. But it's been a great addition. It's right by the Chase Center on 130 South. Same area, Kachi Indian Cuisine has opened a new Indian restaurant right there. And then in that same area, right across the way, we've got the American Hospitality Group. That's the three-building project that we're waiting for them to commence. They did remove the hotel that was there, and they will, and they actually did improvements to the retail center building that fronts on 130 as well. There will also be a daycare center there and a multi-story retail and office building. It's quite a stunning project, and we're hopeful that we'll see a beginning this year as well. Moving down 130, we've had really very exciting developments at the shopping center right at the corner of 571 and 130. That's really taken off over the past year. The Windsor Center Shopping Center. We've got Bottom Dollar has taken part of the former Superfresh space there, and Ross Dress for Less will be taking the remaining space on the corner of 571. We've also got Retro Fitness. I know they're here today as well. It's taken a good chunk of that. Smashburger is coming here. They're actually rated by Forbes as the 6th fastest growing company in 2013. I know they were in the Costa Rica airport. That was the first one I've actually seen. So I guess they're going worldwide as well. There's a new paint store that's just opened there. So that center has really got a tremendous occupancy rate at this point compared to where they were not so very long ago. The entire center has been renovated, looks terrific, and we're very, very excited by that. Continuing down, right across the way, Town Diner, family owned and operated. We know them. If you haven't been in there, you should. It's a great place, and they're doing a very, very fine business there. The Beacon Chevrolet building has been purchased to be developed. We're waiting to see exactly what the plans are, if I can be that candid. I'm a little puzzled, but they do have plans, so that is one of the few remaining buildings that really was on 130 and was even available any longer based on the high level of interest here. Ground Round, of course, opened in our bowling alley, the East Windsor Recreation Center. I believe we're the second one in New Jersey, aside from Bradley Beach. You may remember Ground Round. They've come back, but now they got popcorn instead of peanuts. So I guess that's an advancement. Right about that same area, we've got the former MET building. It was a medical emergency building, and that has just been fully renovated. They're getting, if not already have their CO, and they'll begin occupancy there. They did a wonderful job. I know they're going to have some primary care and maybe some other types of facilities in that building as well. Moving down, the Coleman's Auto Group has become nationwide. They are also been local. They've been local, and so that building is also occupied. We've had interest to move forward on a approved development at Maple Stream on the south side of 130. It's about 45,000 square foot by All Star Retail. So we do expect to see some movement on that in the coming year as well. They've had enough meetings and reach out. I assume they're not doing it for their health at this point. Around the corner, I have to give a shout out to Scoopers. They're in the Wawa Center on Hickory Corner Road, just around the corner. Thomas Sweets, you don't have to go to Princeton. You can stay right here in East Windsor and have Thomas Sweets. It's locally owned and operated, and they've just added a bakery aspect to it. So if you haven't been there, you should. On Route 33, just up the other way, Ames Furniture, catalog delivery furniture store has opened up in a small retail center there. And I do have to note that at the corner of Maple Stream as well, on south side, there's a building there, and Marcy McGuire is here. Has been very successful in bringing in some new tenants there, Agility Physical Therapy and Allure Salon, and filling that building up with some very good quality tenants. So we really appreciate that. Going to move over to the other side of town a bit, over by 33 in the Turnpike area. We've had really a lot of good news over there. And in some ways it's our larger, well, this other stuff is wonderful, but we've got really a very high concentration of business park area over there in buildings. Not everybody probably realizes that, and certainly with the Turnpike work that's going on, it makes it even more attractive, and we are finding that. So just to go through some of the new additions that we have had in the last number of months since I've had the chance to address you. Arrowpack has moved into Twin Rivers Drive. It's a 77,000 square foot building, and they are a freight forwarder. They're the major freight forwarder between the continental U.S. and the Caribbean. The former Therigen property, which is on Lake Drive, it's a 60,000 square foot building. I'm sorry, 20 acres, and that has actually been purchased by Adept Group, and we do expect to see that building occupied in the coming months as well. On Lake Drive as well, that's a 28,000 square foot building. It is will be occupied by Windsor Labs. And once they have all of their approvals and everything in place, they will also be manufacturing pharmaceutical-related products, and they'll be moving forward in that property as well. On Wyckoff's Mill, in a 84,000 square foot building, Innovative Logistics has joined the town. They are a global distributor, supporter of publication companies, so it's really a great find for the town. East Windsor Animal Hospital is opened on Route 33. On 33 at the corner of Probasco, AST Transportation has moved into the facility there. They are a freight facility company. And we've got interest in the former NL properties on Wyckoff's Mill Road. They have been purchased, and we've got a developer that has been actively working to bring in distribution center, warehouse type facilities there, and it's a great location, and we're pretty upbeat that there'll be some tangible results on that in the coming year. I also want to mention that area. We've got some approved retail centers, the Promenade, the Galleria, and Woodside Center, and we are seeing a little more noise out of those. We do expect there to be some movement on those in this coming year as well. I also want to mention that on Monmouth Street in that area, the township has been working with Parker Homes. We have a property right on the Hightstown border there. We'll talk about the history and some of the state intrusion into our community there with some of their land use laws. But the bottom line is that we've been working with Parker Homes that we feel could be really a very excellent fit there. And they have been taking steps to move forward, and we are pretty expectant that they will be coming in with proposal for that property. So we've got a couple of major studies that are in different phases right now. I did talk to you a little bit in the past about the Route 33 corridor study. Both of these are funded by generous grants from the Delaware Valley Regional Planning Commission. This is 33 between Route 130 and the Hightstown border. We did put a study together, a vision together. We've put in place in the recent months the implementing zoning, or at least the first phase of zoning for that area. And we anticipate, we've had some interest, and we anticipate seeing movement on that corridor, and maybe some additional zoning actions in the coming months as well. The other study that we have ongoing is at the Turnpike, also funded by the Delaware Valley Regional Planning Commission, to look at the area around where the relocated exit 8 is, the widening project, and to see how we can best position the town to take advantage of that for new commercial development. So I'm sure there's things that I've missed, but that gives you at least a sense there's a lot going on in terms of development in East Windsor, both residential and commercial, but particularly commercial. And we have a lot of opportunities, so if you know of good quality things, certainly you can give us a call. I do want to mention that Eric Schubeiger is here, who has many of you have talked to and worked with and been a great asset in moving forward many of these projects, and I certainly thank him. I want to talk about a few other things we're doing, roadway projects as well. We have completed in the end of last year improvements, total resurfacing of Yorkshire Drive in East Windsor with the help of a DOT grant. We've also done work with developer funding to Conover Road between Woods Road and Route 130. Mercer County did some work on Old Trenton Road and is currently replacing the bridge on Millstone Road. So we'll wait to see when that can reopen. We have a transportation enhancement grant from the DOT for sidewalks and transportation-related improvements along 571. We're currently working through that, and certainly if anybody has input on that, we always enjoy that. So what do we have for the coming year? We're going to be doing roadway improvements to Hickory Corner Road between Dutch Neck and Dorchester. We've just got notice of a $250,000 DOT grant toward that. We're also going to be doing roadway improvements to Woodland Drive, which is a very major road in East Windsor between Hankins and Old Oak Creek Road. We also have two major roadway projects that have kind of been the bane of my existence to some extent. One is at Route 130, Conover Hankins. We are trying to realign that intersection to a single point so that the turning movements are safer, the flow is better facilitated. We did get all our DEP permits for that last summer. We are still trying to work the project through the DOT. You should all write a letter and tell the DOT to release our permits on that. We are working with Robbinsville on that. We have a joint request for funding on that, and they have been very helpful in weighing in and supporting all the various steps and in the design for that. Of course, what you probably all want to really know about is the New Jersey Turnpike project, and when are they going to be finished? When are they going to be finished? I ask that question myself very regularly. They tell me that this will be the year, but you know, it is kind of a holy mess out there, and kind of hard to believe, but that's what they do indicate. So we hope so. We have a whole punch list for them, though. There's lots of roads that they need to repair, grassed areas that they need to restore, curbing that needs replacement. They actually need signage, striping, lights, maybe redesigned in some places. I don't know. We'll have to see. So it's a big plus for the town. It's a big plus for the area, no doubt. But you know, I would lie to you to tell you that we haven't carried a tremendous burden during that, and our residents and others who have had to go that way haven't had a very disrupted experience. So we look forward to seeing that properly completed and fully open. I got stuck in it coming over here, actually. So they decided to close one of the roads coming off the 133 ramp. They didn't even tell me. So. Okay, a couple other quick projects that I just want to mention. You know, always have to talk about our open space. We've got over 26% of the town permanently preserved. We do have a project on Airport Road that we are moving ahead on now. We're very excited and hope that we will add another 24 acres to our open space inventory. And as always, on several of these things where I should have thanked the county executive and the freeholders for the support that they always provide to us. We're going to be moving forward on another phase of our no net loss reforestation. These are the funds that we had to go to court to fight for, along with Robbinsville and Hamilton, that we were due as a result of the Turnpike bulldozing large parts of our community. And we've done some phases of that work, and we have part of our phase 2, and then we'll commence our phase 3 planting to try to provide new trees in the town and also buffer some of those areas affected. We've just kicked off a new initiative, a community garden. So we'll invite you back to taste some of the produce at a later time. It's been a little challenging. A few things are challenging these days with the late winter, the frigid temperatures, the large amount of rain, but we're getting there. We've also working hard on our sustainable jersey, our green team. We do have a bronze level certification, and we're looking to move that up to a silver certification. We're also very delighted. We appreciate the support from the state and from our county executive. We've got $200,000 in grants from the post-Sandy funds that we're going to be using to put in permanent generators in our senior center, in our public works facility, so as to enable the community and our residents to deal more effectively when we have these types of very serious weather conditions. We are in the process of opening new playing fields on Disbrook Hill Road. Also grant funded, and particularly to our county executive, Brian Hughes, thank you. We got washed out on that too. It's just been that kind of a couple of weeks. But they are out on Disbrook Hill Road just across from Metro Lake Park. We also have a new trail there, Disbrook Hill Trail, which goes around the perimeter of the park, hooks out to a new open space property south of there, and also into Metro Lake Park. Be quiet. Okay, I timed myself, but I'm not quite done. Another minute or two. We also did restoration to the Bear Brook pathway using FEMA funds. Some of that got washed out in the storms that we've had. So I just want to mention a couple of things. We celebrated in the end of 2013 the 10th anniversary of our senior center. That was exciting. That's a great facility. We're very proud of it, and it represented a public-private partnership both in the donation of the land as well as the grants and the private funding which underwrote the entire project. So that always stands as a great example to us, and we've continued to enhance programming and other opportunities there. I also want to mention that we've got a community development block grant for a housing rehabilitation program. We've had a number of takers. We still have funding available for residents that require funds to do structural and safety upgrades and fixes to their homes. And I do want to mention, I know I mentioned the Windsor Center and First Choice Bank as recipients of our 2013 Business Award. So hats off to them. Let's give them applause. Okay, and I'm going to leave you on this. We were very excited this year to find ourselves rated as the 29th safest community in New Jersey. I'm not going to say we were surprised because we know how highly rated we are. But in doing the rating, they made several other observations. So I just want to read a very small part of it to you. In the report in ranking East Windsor, in part, stated, part of any robust community is a strong business-government alliance. East Windsor has that too, and it's fueled by the business ombudsman who helps local businesses in any way possible, including serving as a one-stop resource for those seeking development applications. If you're looking for a community with safe neighborhoods and an innovative way of tackling today's challenges, it's East Windsor. And I couldn't say it better myself. Okay. And on that note, thank you.
This has been a Spotlight East Windsor special report, Mayor Janice Mironov's 2014 State of the Township address. The next live broadcast of Spotlight East Windsor will be on Wednesday, May 28th. I'm Dick Cunningham.